Welcome to Stardust Stereo. I'm Parker McPhinney. I'm your host. Today is the 5th of June, year 2025. And today I'm going to speak on Jupiter in Cancer as it goes through each house. So if you know your rising sign, you can check the house that has Cancer on the cusp. And you have to know what time you were born in order to know your rising sign. It's also called the Ascendant. There's plenty of sites online on the internet where you can get your chart calculated for free, but you will know your exact birth time to do that. So when I talk about the houses for the general public, there's no way, of course, to know how every single human being on earth was born at what time. So I just go through the natural wheel, starting with Aries and where Cancer is on that natural wheel for Aries. So you can use your ascendant sign or your sun sign to check how this Jupiter entering Cancer might be useful for you in the particular house that Jupiter is traveling in. But before I get into it, I want to give a Parker service announcement. And this is for a product that I was gifted that is absolutely awesome. It's Ojai Wild Rose Facial Mist. And it is like having a zillion roses poured over your skin, specifically your face. Imagine you are lying down in a comfortable feather bed and somebody just drops fresh roses upon your face. I'm not exaggerating. No, not really. It's a fabulous product. It's made by ohaiwild.com. It's called Rose Facial Mist. I highly recommend it. I also recommend their body oil. Actually, every product that Ojai Wild creates is fabulous. I'm going to spell this for you. O as in over the top. J as in joyful. A as in absolutely must have. I as in intelligent people buy this product. And then the word wild. So it's ohaiwild.com is the company that produces this fabulous rose mist and body oils. Do yourself a favor, take care of yourself, take care of your skin. Our skin is our largest organ in the body. And while Jupiter is going through Cancer, it's really important for you to learn how to mother yourself and nurture yourself. And this is one way that you can do this, by gifting yourself a fabulous product to help your skin. Now let's talk about Jupiter going through all the houses. If you're an ascendant rising of Aries or a sun Aries, Jupiter will be traveling through your 4th house. That's the physical home, the seat of the soul, the family. When Jupiter goes through that house, as it will begin on the 9th of June, it's time to celebrate the family. It's time to gather people in your home. If you're building a home, you might find that you get extremely emotional about how it is specifically created. The details will not lose sight of your awareness, but what can happen is you can get in over your head because everything that Jupiter touches expands. Like those sponges that we buy at Trader Joe's that you put a drop of water on and they get all poofy. While Jupiter's going through your 4th house, keep an eye on your budget because it will be easy to overspend when it comes to the home, family, and emotional issues. If you are a Taurus ascendant or Taurus sun sign, Jupiter's traveling through your 3rd house. That's the house of brothers and sisters, short journeys, the neighborhood, how you process information. With Jupiter going through that 3rd house, it's a great time to study. It's an absolutely perfect time to learn a new language. And if you happen to be born in a foreign country, but you then relocated to another country than your motherland, it's an excellent time to learn your mother language. It is a fabulous time to start searching for a new car. But you have to be careful because you might overspend. If you are a sun sign Gemini or have a Gemini rising, Jupiter is going through your second house. That's the house of money. That's the house of self-worth. And also that rules what you value. So as Jupiter transits your second house, this is the time to ask for a raise. This is also a time in which you can review the priorities in your life. If you find that family has been coming in second, I would certainly rewrite that list and put family at the top. Another factor that you might start to contemplate is, do you live where you want to? Jupiter in Cancer will bring all attention back to the home. So that might be something that you're contemplating. Maybe I need to live in a different location. If you have a Cancer sun sign or Cancer ascendant, you are the lucky one because Jupiter is transiting the sign in which you were born. Or if you have a Cancer rising, it's going through your first house. So first of all, you need to be very aware of the scales because it's quite common when Jupiter transits the first house or conjuncts your sun to overdo everything. Overdo eating, overdo traveling, overdo how I explore the vast universe. You can take on too much is what I'm saying. Everything starts to seem appealing that you have not done yet in life. And you can feel like, oh, I'm missing out. I've got to try this. It does elevate the mood. It brings humor to one's disposition more readily if you seek it out. Like I often say, the planets don't make things happen, people do, but they shine a big spotlight on the areas that you need to focus on and the area that you can make changes. But ultimately, we have to co-create with divine. Co-creating means that I'm an active participant and mover and shaker. International travel might be on the agenda if you have a sun sign Cancer or Cancer rising. Leo, if you have a Leo rising or are a sun sign Leo, Jupiter in Cancer is traveling through your 12th house. That's the retreat house. That is the house of the cave where I recharge my batteries. It can also be the studio where I'm doing my creativity at. The 12th house is a really interesting house because it's out of the sight of others. So like what's happening behind the scenes. Jupiter in the 12th house is considered to be a big blessing. It's considered to have an angel on your shoulder. Often, as it travels through that 12th house, you might seek out a spiritual retreat to recharge and get your creativity going again if you're an artist, or just recharge in general because the world has become so hectic. Virgo rising or sun sign Virgo. Jupiter in Cancer will be traveling through your 11th house of friends, long-term hopes and wishes, and networking. This is the time for you to network. Get out there and meet new friends, preferably from other countries. Jupiter always represents other cultures. Go to every party this summer you are invited to. All those barbecues, you never know who you're going to meet that is going to help you achieve your lifetime goal. Libra or Libra rising. Jupiter in Cancer will be traveling through your 10th house, and that's the house of mission. That's also the house of the boss. That represents the father in the natural wheel. So as Jupiter travels through that house, you might have a new mission that you're focusing on, that you're going with full-on enthusiasm and gusto. It also represents you might have more responsibilities or be promoted into a position of the boss. If your parents are alive but older, Jupiter traveling through that house could mean that you might need to take more responsibility for their health care and their well-being right now, or just simply spend more time with them because the clock is ticking. Scorpio. If you're Scorpio rising or Scorpio sun sign, Jupiter is traveling through your 9th house of travel, international travel, higher education, and beliefs. What a great way to combine all three by going on some fabulous sabbatical in a foreign country and learning some new topic. If that's not possible, you might consider exploring the houses of faith in your local neighborhood and check out different faiths and how they might speak to you or deepen your faith. I often will say to people, the greatest protection you can ever have is having an anchor in your faith, whatever that faith is. Sagittarius. If you have a Sag rising or are a Sag sun sign, Jupiter's traveling through your 8th house. That's the taboo house. That's another very complex house. It rules sex, death, taxes, and other people's money. We hear the fire engines in the background. Ooh, okay. Jupiter going through that 8th house gets your attention. It's about how you express your intimacy, taking responsibility for that. It also represents any money that comes to you that is not earned, that's gifted or comes through a legacy or is willed to you. You could suddenly become quite blessed by somebody else's generosity. The 8th house is also the house of transcending our difficulties, learning to transcend up the ladder to another level. It also deals with our awareness that we are here for a limited amount of time. So checking out with your higher self what you have not done yet that you wish to do would be a good time right now to do it. An awareness that everybody has a limited amount of ticks on their lifespan. So what haven't you done that you wish to bring great joy in your life with? That would be the thing to explore now. Capricorn. Capricorn sun or Capricorn rising, Jupiter will be going through your 7th house. That is the house of everybody that is not you. So this is the time in which paying attention to others and how I affect others and how others affect me can bring the greatest growth. It's also a time when you might meet a partner. If you're into partnerships or marriage or thinking about it, Jupiter traveling through that 7th house, you often meet people that are significant in your life and can often sometimes change the pathways that you are actually traveling on. Jupiter in the 7th, in addition, can bring a great relationship with the public. The 7th house deals with public. So when Jupiter travels through that house, the public takes a liking to you. So if you're in a performance field or if you are a speaker, this is a great time to get that message, that lecture out there. Aquarius. If you have a sun sign of Aquarius or a rising sign of Aquarius, Jupiter's traveling through your 6th house. That's the house of health, pets, service, and duties, the ins and outs of everyday life existence. Jupiter in that 6th house guarantees that a lot of work is going to be coming your way. So if you've been unemployed, this is an excellent, excellent signature of getting offers of work. So be sure that you do your part by advertising your services. If you take care of pets, this is when they might need more of your attention, or this might be the time that you decide you want a pet. This would be a great time to adopt a pet. If you want to revamp your dietary needs on the day in, day out, Jupiter in Cancer is perfect for that as well, because Cancer does deal with food. If you grow food, see an abundance harvest coming your way if you put the work in. And lastly, Pisces. If you have a Pisces rising or are a Pisces sun sign, Jupiter is traveling through your 5th house of romance, children, and creativity. Excellent period for you to have a deeper dialogue with your kids, or if you're contemplating becoming a parent, chances are you've got luck on your side with Jupiter there. It won't be, do I want to become a parent, but do I want twins? So Jupiter makes big everything it touches. It is not about doing anything small. So if you are promoting your creativity, don't be shy. You've got to get out there in the public and you've got to let everybody know about your creativity. Because just being creative in your room by yourself is not going to sell your ideas. So as Jupiter goes through that 5th house, you can develop the confidence that people do wish to read your story or buy your jewelry or whatever form of creativity that you do. They want to listen to your music. They want to watch you dance. It's the time to go full throttle with the creativity and get on the dating sites or put your name out there with friends to set you up with people if you wish to be in a romantic relationship and aren't. So that's the 12 signs, rising or sun sign. If you know your exact birth time, then you can just look to your chart and see what house has Jupiter. Some people have late degree rising, so that'll shift it a little bit. But in general, this is the 12 houses and Jupiter in Cancer. I've given the generalization of Jupiter traveling through the houses by rising sign or sun sign, but astrology is so complex. The relationship that Jupiter makes with the rest of your birth planets will throw an influence. So this is a generalization. That's the best we can do when we're reading for the masses. This is the time to honor the mother, the goddess mother, the female gurus in your life, the females that are teachers to you, that lead you to the light. This is definitely the next 13 months, the time that you want to touch their feet, as we do in Hinduism. And water, big water is coming to you. I don't know in what way, but Jupiter in Cancer represents big water. And of course, this can happen through a tsunami, which we don't want to see. But the importance of water to your well-being will become even more paramount. Now, the other thing I'd like to bring your attention to is that today, the 5th of June, Jupiter is in the last degree of Gemini, and it is triggering the upcoming solar eclipse that happens at the end of September at 29 degrees Virgo. So today, the 5th of June, and actually the next couple of days as well, I would just say from now until the 9th, but specifically today, Jupiter wants to open your eyes to the promise of that upcoming solar eclipse that happens at the end of September. Pay attention to who you meet, who crosses your path, ideas that you have, promptings from the insight that you get, and pay extra attention to conversations that you have with others, because there will be clues there into how you can further your path. Because when an eclipse point is triggered by an outer, it brings early to your life what is promised in the eclipsed moment. Eclipses are big, stirring pots that promise more than just the average full moon or new moon. And the eclipse I'm speaking of is the 29 degrees Virgo solar eclipse. So it's a new moon with sunglasses on. And this happens the last week in September. So ultimately, these next 3 days, we'll even say 4, are times when destiny is going to call on you. It's your responsibility to be sure to have your ears open, your eyes wide, and your senses aware, so you can notice those promptings of how to go further on your life's path. I'd like to thank you for listening. I'm Parker McPhinney. This is Stardust Stereo. I'd also like to thank my patrons. You know who you are. You are so appreciated. If you'd like to become a patron, you can do so at patreon.com/ParkerMcP. And I want to remind you, you are made of stardust. So go shine.